Good day, friends. Welcome back to another Chew and Chat here on Frontier Patriot. Today we have gingerbread cookies, and yes, it is December, and the countdown is on to Christmas.
Christmas! Yay!
Woo!
It's Santa! Ah!
We love presents. We love sweet treats. We love Christmas music to a certain extent. We love snow. It's actually snowing right now outside the cabin. It has not stuck 100% yet, but the ground is frosty, and it is
32 degrees
snowing
outside.
It's 32 degrees, so we're in it. Winter is here. Christmas is coming.
The persimmon seed this year predicted it's going to be a wet and cold winter, and so far it has been a very wet and cold winter.
It's a damp cold, yeah.
It's pretty cold. I mean, it's like someone just switched on a light switch and boom, falls over. We're in the dead of winter. It feels like January right now. It's so cold.
My toes are cold. I was outside for a little bit, and it's it really gets into your bones.
Yeah,
but it is nice
pleasant.
in here. It's probably 70, 75 in the cabin here, so it feels great.
Good. Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about this receipt we got this week.
This recipe is from Colonial Williamsburg in Virginia.
Been there. Really cool place.
Oh, I cannot wait to go back there. We honeymooned there, and it was absolutely incredible memory. So they're famous for their gingerbread cookies that they sell every single Christmas season, and I was able to get my hands on the recipe. I tried it out for the very first time.
First time ever.
First time ever. I'd never tried making these. I made them on Early American, so go over there because there we cook it.
And here we eat it.
And I decided to ice them. The recipe didn't mention icing them, but why not? And we've already decapitated our gingerbread men.
Mine has no head and no arms left.
Oh my, so brutal.
It's a big cookie.
Yeah, we have gingerbread men, we have hearts, and we have what I think are horses.
Okay, before we go any farther.
This is a big conflict.
Does this look like a horse or a sheep?
I think it's a horse.
Look how fat the neck is. Look how tiny the tail is. This is a sheep.
I found the cookie cutter at an antique store for sale for a couple dollars. And I was like, oh, Ron, look, it's a horse. I'm going to get it. And from the moment I saw that, Ron's like, that's not a horse, that's a sheep.
It's a sheep. Or it's a dog with a big long neck.
And we've been arguing about it ever since. So, do you think it is a horse or is it a sheep?
That's this week's poll.
That is this week's poll on the live chat.
I'm sorry, I'm going on eating this.
Yeah, these are pretty good.
I have not had lunch, I'm hungry, and these are tasty.
These are more complex than simple gingerbread because it has the lemon extract in it.
Mm-hmm. These are nice. And they're not sticky either. That icing, that dried right away.
My first time doing that too.
There's a glaze on here.
Mm-hmm. It dried within 5 minutes. Super easy, really.
Delicious.
Yeah, and of course I granted Ron permission to drink milk today because I'm not that cool.
Let me try dunking these. Can you dunk gingerbread or is it too dense? Okay.
Do you like dunking your cookies?
It works.
What do you mean?
It soaked up the milk.
Okay. Of course it works, but is it good?
It is good.
I'll try it.
It's never not good when you dunk a cookie. There's no
That's
cookie
true.
that you can dunk and it doesn't taste good.
Or is there?
It can only improve.
I am a milk dunker.
That's actually really nice.
I feel like we are two elves in Santa's workshop right now, just eating cookies. That's all we eat is cookies in December. What would you rate these cookies from Williamsburg?
These cookies get a 10.
Nice.
I have to be careful. I'll eat this whole plate. I've actually gained like 5 pounds in the last month.
Really?
All these holiday eatings, all these sweets I've been eating on here, all this butter. I gotta be careful.
You've gained 5 pounds in the last month.
At least I jumped on the scale the other day and it was 5 pounds heavier.
You're putting on weight
But
for
I went to
winter.
the bathroom after that, so I don't know.
You're just putting on weight for winter. It's okay. You gotta have the extra blubber, I believe it's called.
Blubber.
Blubber. So I would give this a 9 out of 10.
I'll eat a small one.
Just because I'm a total gingerbread snob and I have yet to find like the perfect gingerbread cookie.
This is perfect. Or darn near close enough for me.
I'm a gingerbread snob. But come on, 9 out of 10, that's good.
This is good. I'll admit, the ones you buy from the store I do not like. I never liked gingerbread growing up. But making them homemade like this
I have never tried them from
so
the
good.
store. Okay, what are we going to talk about today?
I have a weird history fact.
Things that make us uncomfortable, including this history fact.
Yeah.
Which made us very uncomfortable when we first learned about it 6 months ago.
Mm-hmm. Which thing you want to talk about first? Which uncomfortable thing? Weird history fact or the thing that has actually made us uncomfortable in person?
Yeah, we have two things to talk about that have made us extremely uncomfortable. Okay, the first one, we'll do the weird history fact. We'll do it a little earlier than usual in the video.
Drum roll, please.
Drum roll. This week's really uncomfortable history facts. Go! I apologize if I give you new fears that you've never had before, because that's what it did to us.
So this week's weird history fact revolves around one of our stops on our honeymoon. It was the Berkeley mansion. The family Harrison. Now that might sound familiar because of President Harrison and President Harrison. There's two presidents with the same last name. We stopped there, and one of the stories that the docents told us was pretty mind-boggling. And I have an article here to describe the story. This article comes from the Maryland Gazette on July 18th, 1745. Last Friday evening, July 12th, a most terrible accident happened in Charles City County. That's where the Berkeley mansion is. When a violent thunder gust arose and lightning struck the house of Benjamin Harrison of the Berkeley plantation, killing him and his two youngest daughters. He lived for a few minutes, but then died. His daughters died instantly, said Dr. Munger, who happened to be on site.
Okay, we gotta dive into it, though, because it is freaky how he died.
So, the Berkeley Mansion is one of the oldest and biggest brick houses in Virginia, if you will. Lightning came through the window.
Through the window. He was in his house, standing in the middle of a room.
It got him, and then it jumped to his two daughters and got them. And
in a room.
So
I can't get over this.
It was like a personal vendetta between him and God.
Right.
And he must have did something very wrong.
And he lost.
And he lost, yeah. So that got us saying, it's like, whoa, wait a minute. Our house is in the middle of a field. Now, I'm not bragging here, but it's a tall house. We couldn't dig down as deep because there's granite in the ground. So our house sticks up like a sore thumb in the middle of a field. We're the highest thing around there. And it's like, wait a minute, our bedroom is upstairs like this guy's was. I don't want to get electrocuted from a bolt of lightning coming through the window. Now, I'm not Mr. Perfect, but I try to be on my best behavior, but still.
With God.
I don't want that to happen, so we're going to get some lightning rods and stick them on our house as well. But it was a crazy story that the lightning went through the window, hit him, and then killed his two younger daughters. It killed them instantly, but he lived for a few moments. According to that doctor who was already on site there, coincidentally.
Yeah, his friend, a doctor, was visiting at the time.
It was such a shock and a freak event that his wife was so distraught by it.
Her whole family was dead.
Right.
Basically.
So she died there soon after from depression.
Yeah. She refused to eat or drink.
Yes.
And eventually she succumbed to that. So, new fear unlocked. You can be inside of your house, minding your own business, and I guess the window was open. I'm not really sure. And I thought that the docent even told us that it wasn't stormy. Like, the weather wasn't even, or was it?
Well, according to the newspaper article from 1745, it says a violent thunder gust arose. Like it must have come from offshore or something.
Okay.
They're not that far from the coast,
so maybe
storms
that means
blow
it
in.
was a storm?
That I would say that's a storm, but it might have been a pop-up thunderstorm.
Yeah, out of
This is
nowhere.
this is in July. In the summertime, storms just pop up sometimes.
So he was in a room, minding his own business, and God said, nope, and just struck lightning through his window, and it jumped from his body to his two daughters, killing all three of them. And his wife was so distraught after losing almost her entire family in like the span of a minute, that she refused to eat or drink, and she died from that soon after.
Now, I said that President Harrison and President Harrison, William Henry Harrison, President, and Benjamin Harrison, President of the United States. So their grandsons, great-grandson.
Ever since we took that tour, we have been so paranoid now.
Every time I go upstairs, I'm just thinking,
Lightning.
is this how he was standing looking out the window when...
Yeah, and it struck 2 other people in the room.
Yeah, I don't want it to happen to me. So we're going to get ourselves some lightning rods.
Lightning rods, yeah.
So that's this week's Weird History.
That is the first thing that's made us extremely uncomfortable for the last 6 months.
Yes.
Every day there's a new fear unlocked, isn't there?
Ugh.
The second thing that's made us extremely uncomfortable, actually for the last year, is I mentioned it briefly on a members-only community post that I made yesterday. So if you're a member, you already know what I'm about to talk about. But we have a stalker.
And not just one. There's actually quite a bit, but this one is
This
really...
one's really...
This is the most recent one.
This one's really creeping me out.
And it's very repetitive.
Yeah, we see this guy once a month now, and we don't talk about this on the channel. This is like our personal lives, but this has been going on for the last year, and it's officially gotten to the point now where the night before yesterday, I lost a little bit of sleep over it. And so now I'm just angry, I'm grumpy, and I'm ready to talk about it because I am done being a doormat to these crazy people, this crazy man, and I am now going to be a boss and put my foot down and say enough is enough because I know he's watching.
Mm-hmm.
I know he's watching. Basically, there's a guy who lives in Minnesota. We live in Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
And he keeps going out of his way to come see us and follow us around physically wherever he can. Uninvited. And I'm not saying from afar. I'm saying he will follow us like he's our shadow. I mean, he'll be 5 feet next to me, 5 feet behind me, and just follow me around at events for the entire time that I'm there. So we first saw this guy 2 years ago. He came Pioneer Days. He was really nice.
Everything was normal.
Yeah, everything was normal. He was really nice. But, he's like one of the, 2,000 people there, so.
Some people become infatuated, and this ain't towards everybody, but some people don't know how to act. We are not famous people. We are not Brad and Angelina Jolie.
We just cook cookies.
Just because you're watching us at 3 a.m. while you're laying in bed doesn't mean that you have to become infatuated with us and think that we're goody-goody friends because we love meeting people, and we're very polite to people, and people are usually polite to us. But
sometimes they take that the wrong way.
Right, but at the end of the day, I am not your best friend. I don't know you, man.
You know how it is.
And that's not being rude. That's just being real. That's being anybody. You got to keep your circle small, and we've really learned that over the last few years. And we've met some great people, but there's just been a few people that it's like, please get back from me. Get away from me.
So he's talking about there's been a couple of men that have come to our town.
Yeah.
Like, they've actually traveled physically to our town. They didn't tell us they were coming. They just showed up in the hopes that they could find our address.
And they go around, we hear about this from people, they go around asking, where's the cabin at? Where can I find it?
Where's Ron and Justine? Where do they live?
I actually have a little quick story if you don't mind.
Oh, yeah, no problem.
Coincidentally, my 2 best friends that I've been friends with for almost 20 years here in St. Genevieve, they were in a coffee shop about 6 months ago. I get a phone call. They say, Ron, where are you at? I was like, I'm at home. What are you doing? They're like, we're at the coffee shop. I was like, okay. He's like, are you planning on coming to town today? I was like, maybe.
Not now.
He's like, don't come to town right now. I was like, why? What's going on? And he told me, he's like, well, there's some guy in here saying weird things, and he's asking where you're at. And I was like, you serious? Did you tell him that you knew me or something? He's like, no, he just came up to us. It was total coincidence. Apparently, he had been down the road to Candy's store and asked them. I also got a phone call from Dale, Candy's husband, saying, hey, there's a guy that's not normal, gave me the creeps.
Where we live.
Yeah,
he was asking
where
we live.
So my buddy, which will remain unnamed, said, okay, so let me back up. The gentleman approached him just out of nowhere and said, hey, do you know who Ron and Justine are? And my buddy said, I think I've heard of him.
He played it cool.
He played it cool. And the guy apparently whipped his phone out and showed him a bunch of pictures of us. Mm-hmm. And he said, and I quote, "Let me educate you on who they are." Weird. And so he's showing them pictures, and he's like, "You don't happen to know where they filmed, do you?" And my buddy said, "I heard they filmed down the road there." Which,
he's just making it up.
Which down the road in St. Genevieve is Candy's Cabin, which is where it's not... It's a place of business. And the guy said, "Nope, I've done been there." He's like,
"I'm looking, where do they live?"
Yeah. So he's like, "Maybe you could help me find out. Do you know anybody?" And my buddy's like, "I don't really know, man. I can't help you." And my buddy kind of turned a shoulder to him to go back to my other friend because their wives were with them. Excuse me. And the guy said, "Well, I'm going to go on and go, but don't worry, you'll all survive this." Whatever the heck that means.
And then he left.
And that's when my buddy called me after that and said, "Dude,
don't come
some wacko is in town." So I don't know what's going on with some of these people that want to come and try to find us. This place is not this desirable. I built this place for under $2,000.
Okay,
It's not a real cabin. This is not a 300-year-old cabin. This is only a 3-year-old cabin.
Oh yeah.
So it's not so desirable.
Well, but the thing is, though, it's just creepy how these men will come to our town and then ask random people, and we know just about everyone in town. So the store owners will call us and be like, "Hey, a guy just came in my shop asking where do you live?" And you have to, and they play it cool and they say, "I don't know," even though they know. And it's like, okay, that is like really making me uncomfortable.
I'm actually waiting. I don't even, never mind. I'm not going to say it because I don't want anybody to do it. I'll tell you after the show.
You're waiting for someone to seriously show up.
Waiting at the post office.
Oh, yeah. I'm waiting for us to meet a real crazy person. But we have met kind of a crazy person. Let's go back to the Stalker story that we started with. So I guess this was the straw that broke the camel's back, and I'm having like a mental crisis, and that's why we're mentioning it. But we first met him 2 years ago, Pioneer Days. Super nice guy. Okay, we met, whatever, took some pictures, and then he went. It was a public event. Mm-hmm. Okay, well, ever since a year ago, though, he's been acting really weird. A year ago, he showed up to town to an event that we were at. Didn't tell us that he was going to come. He just showed up. Mm-hmm. And he gave us a picture of himself with Jesus and George Washington.
It was a thing that was photoshopped. It had like a picture collage. I don't know what you call it. But
it was a giant frame, like this big.
With Jesus, George Washington, and us, and him.
Yeah, and him in it.
It was very strange.
It was very strange. Okay, but here's the weird part. He said... He almost like demanded. He was like, "You need to hang this in your house." He said, "You guys are building a new house. Thought you needed something to hang on the wall. You should hang this in your house." It's like a picture of him and Jesus and George Washington. And I said, "Thank you." And I took it. I was like, "Thank you." But in my mind, I was like, "Okay, I'm not going to do that. That's really creepy."
Seriously going to hang that in my
house. I'm not going to hang a picture of a stranger in my house, but thank you. I said thank you, and I was trying to be nice. Okay, but that's not the issue. It all went downhill after that.
We went to an event over in Illinois, and we were with, you guys know Michael. We were with Michael and his mom, and the person crashed their party the day prior at the event, and then when we got there, they were already waiting in the parking lot for us.
Waiting for us.
And it's like, whoa, man, come on.
Okay, so...
no breathing room.
So the day before, he had spent the entire day with our friend Michael... And I don't want to get into it because I don't want to speak, from another person's mouth without their permission.
Right.
But I know that they did not appreciate this. Basically, the guy waited in the parking lot for my friend Michael to show up in the parking lot. He knows that Michael is my friend. Mm-hmm. So he's trying to get to us through my friends. And he waited in the parking lot for him, and he like pounced on him, and then followed him the entire day at the event, not from afar, but right next to him as if they were best friends. Mm-hmm. And my poor friend Michael, he did not have the heart to tell him to go away and back off.
And we don't either half the time. We try to be as lenient and as nice as possible.
I feel bad.
Because we know how to act around some... Well, if we meet somebody, that doesn't know who we are, but like say I look up this person, I go meet them. Hi, how you doing? Great, that's nice. And I go about my business. You don't impose yourself on
Yeah, he
people.
imposed himself.
He crashed the party.
Okay, so the next day, this guy wasn't done. The next day, it was our turn to go to this event. He is waiting for us in the parking lot. We never said what time we were going to be there, so this guy must have hung out in the parking lot for who knows how long. He must have been there for hours waiting for us to come to this event.
I think he was there an hour before we got there, he told me.
Yes, and he was just... It's creepy, okay? He was standing in the parking lot. There was like 500... maybe 1,000 people at this event. It's a huge gathering of people. Mm-hmm. It's like a festival. And then we get out of our car, and as soon as we get out of our car, he like runs towards us, and he's like, "Hey guys, how are you doing? How was your trip? How are you guys doing today?" And Ron and I are like, we're good, yeah. Because we had no clue this guy was gonna, okay. And I thought that was gonna be it, like, "Hey, nice to meet you, have a good time," okay. That was not it. And we had driven 4 hours to get to this event. For the entire time we were at this event, this guy was like this far away from us.
Questions, this. What about this? What about that? Blah, blah, blah. It's like, I want to enjoy myself, man.
He never asked us permission to hang out. He just imposed himself on us. He wasn't far away from us. He was like this far away from us during the entire day. When we went to eat lunch, he sat right next to us without asking again. He was there for 4 hours. Every time we went to introduce ourselves to somebody, he was like, "Hey, yeah, my name is, nice to meet you." And I'm just like,
I gotta be honest about that
part.
part.
Who are you?
We met Ryan, the gentleman from Townsend's.
Yeah, which was a huge honor. We had never met him before.
And this guy was just right there. Like, as soon as I think we both shook Ryan's hand and met him, and then that guy went immediately.
Hey, nice to meet you too.
It's like, oh my God, you're gonna ruin this for us.
I know.
For us, it's a big thing to meet somebody like that.
And
we were cool about it.
I wanted to tell him, "Hey man, I don't know who this guy is. He's been stalking us."
But you know what? We met Ryan. We talked to him for 5 minutes, and then we left.
He was very nice.
We went about our own business. We didn't hound him.
Yeah. So anyway, he follows us for the entire day. We drove 4 hours to get there, so I really intended to spend the entire day at this event. Well, after 3 hours, I couldn't take it anymore. He was really creeping me out.
We were ready to get.
He would not let me out of his sight even for a second. The whole time he was this close to me. He wasn't trailing me from afar, and I was like, "Oh, he's still there." No, he was standing as close to me as Ron is to me for the entire day. So finally, after 3 hours, I'm like, "Hey, Ron, let's just go home. I'm not feeling well." I said, "I don't feel well." I made up an excuse to leave. He follows us all the way back to the parking lot where he gives us a poem. Now, this is a full-grown man. I think he's in his late 20s.
I think so.
And it's like a piece of paper, that he wrote a poem. And it says, "You guys have completely changed my life. Every once in a while, you meet someone that just completely changes everything. And you, the Rayfields, you have completely changed my life for the better. I am so grateful for you." And I'm reading this poem like, I don't know you. Like, God bless you, but please leave us alone.
We're not picking on anybody. We're just...
No.
It's too much for us.
It's too much.
It's not our burden to take on...
people that
all this
need help. I think he needs help. I don't know how else to say it. He seems very lonely. He needs help.
We're not counselors.
But we can't. And on top of it, he's like stalking us because so Ron
I wrote him a message. I sent him a message after that and said, "Sir, that was very nice. We wish you all the best, but please, the line has been crossed.
Yeah, please."
And he said, "Okay." And after that, he came to an event after that.
It didn't stop. He's still stalking us.
He just kind of went in front of us, and I think he said hello or something like that, but he kept on moving, which is fine. I can't stop him from going anywhere, but we don't want him hanging out with us. We don't want any contact with him, is what I'm trying to say.
Okay, but here's the thing. He lives in Minnesota. We live in Missouri. He took an entire week off from work to fly down to our town, which imagine you like a YouTuber, okay? They cook. You like their cooking videos. So you proceed to take an entire week off from work. This guy's not rich by any means, by the way. He's a mailman. So this must be costing him a lot of money. You take an entire week off from work, you book a hotel for an entire week in their town, and fly down there in the hopes that you will see them for just 5 minutes. That's psychotic behavior.
That's stalker.
That is psychotic behavior. So anyway, it was 1 week after this thing where he was stalking us around the event. That's exactly what he did. The following week, he took a week off from work. He flew down again. He got a hotel for a whole week just so that he could see us for 5 minutes at the graveyard event, which is a public event.
Mm-hmm.
And then he came up to me and he really, really wanted to shake my hand, which made me very uncomfortable because it's like, why do you want to physically touch me so bad? But I didn't want to be rude, so I shook his hand,
mm-hmm.
and then he left. But that's weird. Like, Ron told him to leave us alone, and he's ignoring him. Well, guess what? A couple days ago, he sent one of my friends, because again, he's like trying to get to me through my friends, a message saying, because the Christmas parade is coming up
mm-hmm.
this weekend, and he heard about that because we mentioned it on the channel. Every event that we mention on the channel, he shows up to now, in the hopes that he will see us. And so he sent my friend a message saying, hey, when does because it's a parade, when does the militia step off for the parade? Where do you guys meet for the parade? He wants to be in the parade with us. And so my friend blocked him, and we are officially creeped out right now because this guy is not taking no for an answer. And you cannot be soft and gentle with these people, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them, they're just, I don't know.
We've gone about it the most polite way, so...
I can't take it anymore. I've actually told the staff at the museum that I work at about this guy. I've showed them pictures.
So everybody knows what he looks like.
Yes.
And he's asked to leave if he tries to linger around.
Yes, I know you're watching, if you come and you come into the place that I work, you will be asked to leave immediately. Please stop coming to our town and following us around all the way from Minnesota. I don't know what else to say about that, but you cannot just force yourself into someone's life like that. You can't just force yourself to be best friends with someone you like from the internet.
Giving a gift or anything does not make you friends. Not to say the person is not grateful or meaningful for receiving or giving. It's just you can't...
The gift is the picture of George Washington and Jesus.
I don't know how to explain it, but...
just
because we're nice and we meet people doesn't make us automatic friends. We don't know anything about you, your history. Are you trustworthy? Are you could be a murderer.
Are you a serial killer? Are you one of those people you go to a restaurant and if the waitress is nice to you, you think that she's flirting with you? It's her job to be nice, but I mean, it's just common human decency that you're going to be nice, you know? It doesn't mean like, oh, she's flirting with me, I'm going to follow her back home, and no, man, no.
Yeah. So we've been nice, we've said thank you.
Mm-hmm.
That's it, it's time to move along.
Yes, please. So that's what's been worrying me ever since I found out a couple days ago that he's again planning on following us around the Christmas event. He even wants to march in the parade with us without permission. I've just been very stressed because I don't know what to do. And the members that I made the community post on have told me to contact the police and possibly look into getting a restraining order. But let's be real, guys. The police generally don't care unless someone is physically violent or is making threats of violence against you. So it sounds really good to say get a restraining order, but in real life, you can't really do that.
And we haven't reached that level yet, and I hope we don't.
Thankfully.
So I'm hoping that this video is a deterrent. Once again, we're not trying to be mean. We're just...
It's self-preservation.
We're tired of it.
We're
That's it.
tired.
So please do not come.
Yeah, we see this guy once or twice.
So that's
a month.
That's us asking nicely, and the only time we're gonna ask nicely.
You know, I feel like if he lived in our town, it would be less weird. I'd be like, oh, he's just coincidentally he wants to come to the Christmas parade. That's fine. But he lives in Minnesota. It's weird, okay?
That's a long drive.
That's a very long drive, a very long flight. And he even mentioned to me once when he was following us around that he wants to move here. That makes me extremely uncomfortable that our stalker wants to move here so that he can stalk us all day.
Ugh.
Yeah, it's just ugh.
It makes you weird when you think about it.
Yep.
Or they send you pictures and say, "Hey, look what I got. It's the same thing you got." And it's like, man, that's weird.
Yeah, it's a little.
They try
weird.
to become you. I don't know how to explain
Yeah,
it.
it's a little weird. But yeah, we're only saying this now publicly because I hope he sees this, because every other way that we've tried to pass hints to him, he does not take hints.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's gotten to the point where we have to kind of be a little mean about it and just directly say, please leave us alone.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know what I'm not leaving alone?
What, these cookies?
These cookies.
By the way, our town's pretty small. It's not small, it has a population of about 5,000 people. So the odds of someone from Minnesota being in our town twice a month, no. Yeah, we have a small town, and it's really cool town, a lot of historical stuff, but it's not like Disney World or something where you would go out of your way to come here, all the time like that. So.
We got a pretty good water park.
We have a water park, yeah. A lot of towns have water parks. But yeah, that's all we're going to say about that. We love meeting people.
Just know your limits. Be normal.
Please. Yeah, I feel like I don't even have to say it. It's kind of common sense, You meet someone.
People don't know how to act anymore. Lonely people will sit in front of the computer or the TV and they feel like they know you because they've watched you for 12 hours nonstop on repeat, which is crazy. I don't even watch my videos, but just one time, and that's it. I don't sit there and study it.
And we've all had fantasies about meeting a celebrity and us becoming best friends. But then you grow up and you realize you're not going to go all the way to Los Angeles and go to Tom Cruise's house and knock on his door and be like, hey, you like this? And then Tom Cruise is going to go... and take you out to dinner, and you guys are going to get married a week later. Like, eventually you just kind of got... These are the fantasies of a child, okay? Or a teenager. But eventually you wake up and you realize that's not happening. It's not organic. It's not natural. But, yeah, and we have made really good, genuine friends with people from the channel. Mm-hmm. Really good friends, But we can tell a difference between a natural, organic friendship versus someone that's forcing themselves into our lives.
Imposing, yeah.
Imposing. And by the way, we did try to make this work with this guy. When he was following us around for the first couple months, we would ask him, like, hey, what are your hobbies? What are your interests? We have nothing in common at all. Mm-hmm. So it's just, I don't know why he keeps pushing it on us, but that's what it is.
Yep, it is what it is.
That is the things that make us uncomfortable.
Well, let's switch gears here. You guys see this little nutcracker here? This was last year's Christmas competition. We painted the nutcrackers, and I believe mine won.
You won.
You always win the pumpkin contest. But this year, I think next week is, we're going to do our Christmas contest, because next week is our last video until the new year, because we're going to take a break. Because Christmas is on a Wednesday this year.
Oh, yeah.
We're not going to be putting the video out on Wednesday. Because
time with
everybody's busy with their families and their friends and stuffing their face and ripping up in presents.
Yeah.
So next week is the Christmas special here on Frontier Patriot. And we're trying to think of a competition, dude. Should we do like a joint thing? Should we build a gingerbread house? Would that be cool?
That's fun. But if you guys have any other ideas for competition, we are super open-minded. Yeah. Please let us know.
Type them.
But I think I will win something. Is this a sheep or is this a horse?
It's a sheep.
It's a horse.
It's a sheep.
That is a horse.
It's a sheep. Where's the tail? And why is his back arched? Horses' backs are sunken in. They're not arched up.
Well, it's just a handmade
cookie. I'm out of milk.
You can have mine.
Ooh.
Oh, and we have a special announcement also next week's
yes.
To chat as well.
A very special Christmas message.
Yes, we do. Some of you have figured it out, but...
What else is there? Was there something else we were talking about? I forgot.
I think that's it, really.
Nothing on the house this week?
We don't have nothing else that's making us uncomfortable right now.
No, I mean happy thoughts.
Oh, happy
thoughts.
There's a lot to be happy and thankful for. There's a lot.
Yes.
Yeah, we're very grateful for all you guys that are watching us right now.
Yes, thank you very much.
And I'm very grateful for you.
Well, thank you. I'm grateful for you, too.
This is our first Christmas as a married couple.
It is, but it is our third Christmas together.
Yeah.
Third or fourth? Wait. Oh, our 21, 22, 23. 24 is our fourth Christmas.
Our fourth Christmas together. Woo!
But it's our... No, this is our fourth Christmas in here.
What?
This is the fourth Christmas in here.
Okay. Wow. Thank you for putting up with us for that long. Really, and putting up with me for that long.
That's nothing.
Okay, so I think we're going to head on out now.
Alrighty.
And we'll see you guys next week for a really special video.
Next week will be very fun with... I don't know what we're eating.
Whatever competition we got.
Whatever competition, whatever we're eating, and we'll get into a little bit of the history of Christmas, at least as here in America. We'll talk about Santa Claus and Christmas trees and all that fun stuff.
Yes.
Maybe we'll sing.
Oh no.
Our annual Christmas song.
Oh no. And that's when our subscribers mysteriously go down every year. We lose like 500 subs.
Well, they're not true friends then.
No.
All
okay.
Right. We love you guys. Thanks for everything. Enjoy the snowy weather out there.
Of course. See you all next week. We love you. Take care.
Bye-bye.